Welcome to Night Racing League, season number 3, and we continue with the GTE Championship this week, race number 2 from Laguna, Seca. Here's the championship standings. After the first race, Nodovan winning in Long Beach, Evil Hines and Logan Shawn rounding out the top 3. As we race at Laguna Seca, here is today's starting grid. Logan Shawn, 17, with his first pole of the season, running the red Ferrari number 51, a 119.724, alongside No Seams 001, his yellow Corvette, a 120.042. Race 1 winner, Nodovan, is inside row number 2 with a 124.07, right beside Evil Hines 12, a 120.500. Slim Reaper 911 will start alongside his brother in row number 3, a 126.86, and at 121.940 for the BMWs. Practice and qualifying troubles for Still in 421. He's in a Ferrari today, a 124.488. As we head to the starting grid here for 45 minutes at Laguna Seca. The car's away, a standing start here in the GTE class. And it's No Seams who takes the point into turn number 1. Logan Shawn will drop to second. And Slim Reaper 911 having a move here on Evil Hines. But the German will keep 4th place. Oh, until he loses the back end. Gets the left rear on the dirt and into the barriers. And that's going to drop him down to the back of the field. Slim Reaper up to 4th. As No Seams 001 up the hill for the first time on the grass there. Logan Shawn, but he does save it. And through the corkscrew on board with Nodovan. And around goes Logan Shawn, the Ferrari. An odd place to lose it. We'd have to see what happened. He did. He just clipped the dirt again with that right side. Logan Shawn now 5th. Evil Hines, that was Stillen in 7th. As we head back up front, the order jumbling around as things start to settle in. Slim Reaper 911 here up to 3rd now after starting in 5th place. So No Seams 001 off to the lead. We'll wait for them to come around again before we get some representative lap times. 45-minute races here in the GTE class. And Slim actually putting a little pressure on the race 1 winner. He's looking very strong in the BMW here today, after having some issues in Long Beach. On board the Brit, and that is wide by the Corvette. So a good run down the front straightaway as we're into lap number 3 now. And it's a 121.4 for the leader, but here's the battle for second on the inside. Slim Reaper 911 in deep though. Nodovan's going to do the crossover. And we're still side by side. Oh, and he just kicks out the back end. Little too much pressure on that left rear tire. It just broke traction, and the Canadian will maintain his 2nd place. As Logan Shawn now recovering to put a little pressure on X will miss to X. As we head back up the hill. Everybody testing the track limits here today. We've already seen it cost 2 of the drivers. It's always hot, it's always slippery here, and if you overcook your tires, they're going to give up on you. The pole sitter now running in 5th place, but you know there's pace in that car, although a little damage probably from slipping into that barrier on the front end. We don't know how that's affecting the top speed, but he is putting lots of pressure here on the black BMW. Still in the 21s for no seams, so just about 2 seconds off the qualifying pace. But as you can see, everyone else in the 22s or higher, so stretching out that lead, which is now 4 seconds. This is the battle on the track. X will Mr. X under pressure from the pole sitter Logan Shawn 17, who has dropped all the way to 5th. We head into lap 5 here at Laguna Seca, California. You can see this battle is not that far off the battle for 2nd place. All 4 cars all on the same straightaway here. Checking the lap times, you can see Slim and Nodovan into the 21s. X and Logan in the mid-22s the last time we came around. But they certainly haven't lost touch. Even in the background, Evil Hines is still got this battle in sight. And a bit of a gap. It is a struggle this weekend for Still in 421. I'd be interested to find out the car choice decision. I am racking my brain, but I cannot remember Stillen running a Ferrari in the past. I could be wrong on that, but it'd be interesting to find out why he chose the Ferrari for this race, or if he's just going to splash around in different manufacturers for the season. Still all kinds of pressure here in the battle for 4th place. But X Will Mista is handling it well, and Logan Shawn seems to be stuck in behind that black BMW, as in the pits is Evil Hines. Another issue somewhere on circuit. And the German, who's 2nd in the championship now with big troubles. Been a few laps now watching this, as Evil Hines coming out of the pits now, but you can see he's a lap down. No mandatory service requirements or pit stops in this series. As deep on the brakes, and that is the opportunity Logan Shawn needed. He gets a free pass, and that'll put him up into 4th place. And as you can see, it's not a huge gap up to the yellow BMW of Slim Reaper as X goes off again. We still have second through fifth on one straightaway. The fast lap that time around was by Nodovan as he's got that Corvette settled in now. Here is Nodovan in the number 30 Corvette. There is no question about car choice for that car. It is always the number 30 Corvette all through last season and this. X Will missed one little mistake there, but he's still right on Logan Shawn. As we look back now at Still in 421 in 6th, there's Evil Hines, who has had a pit stop for damage and is out in 7th. Logan Shawn now trying to go a 22.3 that time. It was a 22.6 for Slim Reaper, so definitely reeling in the last car on the podium there. Everyone seems to have found their groove now, and the lap times, it's a 21.2. Very good lap time by No Seams up front. Still with around a 4-second gap as Nodovan has really started to turn in the lap times as well. But a 21.2, that is the quickest. Did we see that BMW go off circuit there? He recovers back, but Logan Shawn definitely closer. The leader's into lap number 9. We are 11 minutes into this 45-minute race. And it may be time to feed on another BMW here for Logan Shawn. And, well, I was going to say a little wide, but you do want to diamond those corners off and turn turns 1 and 2 into one single apex if you can, and that seemed to be what Slim was doing. And he got a good run there out of turn 3. Still toying with the dirt on the side of the circuit. We've already seen multiple times that there's no grip out there, so just be careful as Logan Shawn tries to position himself to take advantage of another mistake if it's going to be there for him. It was a 21.3 the last time around for the Ferrari, so he is running leader's pace, and that is that's not surprising from the pole sitter. Maybe just a little surprising because it looked like a pretty hard shunt, but I don't see any visible damage on the car, so his lap times certainly don't indicate that he's having any troubles whatsoever with handling or grip. .22s for the third place battle as we approach the 1/3 mark of this race. And a 23 for, well, that's Evil Hines there in front of them, the lapped car, but it was a 23-second lap for Nodovan as he gives back some. But he's about 4 seconds up the road from this battle, and it's a good run here. Logan Shawn gonna have a look, and they're gonna touch both cars around. And we get a replay here, and yeah, just he had the corner up there alongside the BMW, and this is onboard X Will Mista, who is going to benefit from that. He's inherited a podium, but then puts the wheel off. Oh, no harm, no foul there, but all he has to do now is keep it clean, and he may get a podium out of this one. Meanwhile, back up front, somebody we haven't seen very much of, No Seams, is leading by 5.5 seconds over Nodovan, who we saw briefly there. As we run down the grid now, Slim Reaper all the way back to 5th. There is still in 421 running 6th. And the lapped car of Evil Hines 12 in 7th. So we're going to have to take stock here as the cars come around, completing their 11th lap, as we've had another jumble up. But this is the car who has benefited, and you can see that gap now visually from Will Mista back to Logan Shawn. Slim Reaper in the background there. All incidents, of course, are reviewed, but we'll see if anything comes out of that one. As we're into lap 12 now, checking in, it's fast car on the circuit looks to be Nodovan. So whatever that 23-second lap was, maybe just a blip. He's right back into the quickest lap of everybody around that time. We're definitely to the point of the race now where the rear tires are going to start to complain when you try to get on throttle. There is traction control in these cars, but if you simply load up that outside rear under acceleration and try to get too much, it will just give up, and around they go. Will Mista 15 seconds off the lead, as these guys have had a lot of fun back here. It's been a good race. But No Seams just driving away with all of the action behind him. Nodovan now finds himself in a comfortable second place. As off the circuit goes Will Mista X. It's another free pass by the black BMW for Logan Shawn. Slim Reaper now coming right up. He's actually pulled off to pit road. As we check out the replay here, and what were we just talking about? The right rear tire, or the outside rear tire. And Slim Reaper now just, I think he's had enough. He's putting rubber on that car. 17 minutes into this 45-minute race. And of course, the only benefit he'll have is there'll be less fuel in that car. Hopefully the tire wear will drop a little bit. But those BMWs just going through the rubber, and he just didn't want to risk it anymore. Fresh tires, and he's going to come out of the pits in 6th place, I believe. Let's just see if Stillen can get around him. There are the two cars. He may actually hold on to 5th here, and does. So still in 421, having a bit of a lonely race, but is all of a sudden presented with a BMW to chase in front of him. You can see he's in the 24s. Now, fresh tires, that yellow BMW, I think, is probably going to disappear up the road rather quickly. As we're into lap 14 here. And now comfortably past the 1/3 mark of the race. Looking at fifth place driver, Slim Reaper 911, who has made a pit stop for tires, and that's the first time we've seen that. And very early, I might add, 17 minutes into this race. No Seams 001, your race leader in the Corvette. And he's had it all his way since he took the lead on this corner, lap number 1. You can just see in the background the sister Corvette, the number 30 of race 1 winner, Nodovan. Both cars still in the 21s. And the third place driver, Logan Shawn 17, in the Ferrari. What an eventful race for him it's been, the pole sitter. On board, your race leader through the corkscrew. So we get a small field rundown here. Seeing the relative gaps of everybody as we run down. It's a long way back now. We'll see how those tires, we'll check the lap times. You can see it was 21.7 the last time around for Slim Reaper. Still 2/10 off the race leader, interestingly. But certainly a second and a half quicker than the car he's chasing, the sister BMW, so the tire's definitely helping. We'll see if he can make up the gap that the pit stop cost him. Checking in with Evil Hines 12 there for a split second, as he is closing the gap on Still in 421 after an early pit stop for him. Race leader heads into lap 17. Check in again. We're getting a lot of different camera angles and different styles here. Season 3, of course, being run differently as we've got new directors and new people in charge of the video feed, so it's great to see different angles and different ways of bringing the broadcast to you, so looking forward to all season long doing this. So 21.6 the last time around. Very, very comfortable laps here for the leader. No seams. He's now chasing down still in 421 to put him a lap down as well. You can see Slim Reaper now with the new tires, 21.5. So he's able to turn the leader's pace. And the big news is he is really reeling in X will miss to X. And as we have just passed the halfway mark, we should again have a battle. This tire choice may have paid off as long as they don't wear out the same. If they go down the same rate and he has to change again, he was only 17 minutes into the race, so we'll check that. He's going to have to make it to the end of the race for this to pay off. Here's Logan Shawn, who is still dropping back from the Corvettes up front. X Will Mista in 4th, being chased by his teammate. There's Evil Hines now. Again, he's gaining in on still in 421, who saw go a lap down there. Got out of the way as no seams came through. So we have two potential battles shaping up here as Slim catches X Will and as Evil Hines catches still in 421. But up front, no such drama as the leader hits the dirt and goes off. Stillen will unlap himself, but the big story now is it's given a sniff. There's your replay. We've seen it already a few times. So I take back everything I said about the leader having it easy. He has now given Nodovan a sniff. Race 1 winner as Dylan going to get out of the way again. Absolutely does not affect this battle for the lead at all. We saw another puff of dust there from No Seams. The gap is just 1 second, and that really closed up there as a bit of a concertina effect. There's Evil Hines test track limits again on that corner as he has caught Stillen now. Having to let the leaders by a couple of times, that cost Stillen some time on circuit, and you can see we have that battle for 6th, but it has been preempted by the two Corvettes being on track together now. Into lap 21. Going to get a shot here as Evil Hines goes around the outside of the Ferrari. Still in positioning his car perfectly, but we'll see how long he can hold off. The challenge is on the inside. This is where we saw Logan Shawn and Slim get together side by side, and the GT is past the Ferrari. Evil Hines will get 6th place as we head back up front. Nodovan seems very, very good there under braking. See a lot of messages popping up here. a bunch of these drivers are being involved in a special 200-lap Indianapolis event on Monday. And so I'm sure there's a lot of people talking about that. There'll be a lot of testing going on tomorrow. These races, of course, happen on a Saturday. I'm not sure when you're watching, but all day Sunday they'll be preparing for that special event. And I am gutted I will not be part of that. It's we did do a 100-lap Indianapolis Oval event in the Night Racing League, a non-championship event, and it was fantastic. And I can't imagine doing a 200-lap event. Arms were absolutely killing after 100, so it'll be something. I look forward to hearing what the results of that race were. But it's probably what all the chatter is going on at the moment, as a bunch of the night racing drivers are going to be in that event. As we approach the 30-minute mark, 2/3 of the way through, and we've got a battle for the lead. No Seams 001 and Nodovan, the two Corvettes, first and second. And I have to say, Nodovan, now that he's got a sniff, really looks like he is got a little bit of pace on No Seams, who has led this race comfortably all day long. But it goes to show you, at the sharp end, all it takes is one tiny error. On board with the Canadian. And I have to think, the only, a little bit of dirt there, that's going to cost him a 10th. But so strong under the brakes for the corkscrew. You see him just close that up, and a little bit of a pull away with the concertina effect there from No Seams, but certainly doesn't regain the amount of track that he loses under braking. Nodovan so good as he comes into that corkscrew. Still under a 1 second gap, but not able to really get it right up on the rear bumper. These cars very evenly matched. Certainly through the infield section, though, No Seams has the advantage there. Nodovan squirming under brakes, but does gain a little bit of time back on his strong section of the circuit. But overall, you can see the lap times just a 1/10 of a second apart last time around. Very good under the brakes again there by the Canadian. But it is a 1/10 and a bit advantage for No Seams at the line. Look at the timing screen, you can see Logan Shawn by himself in third, about 16 seconds behind this gap as Nodovan really pushing. Exwilmista is still fourth, with Slim Reaper continuing to pull that gap in. Evil Hines, who you see in the background there, the first car a lap down in 6th, and still in 421 in 7th. And a very, very good lap here by No Seams as he tries to regain some of the advantage he had earlier. Definitely having a better lap here than Nodovan. We'll check the times at the line. But he has visually put some tarmac between himself and the Canadian chasing him down, a 21.7 as opposed to a 22.4 for Nodovan. So definitely a good lap there, and a couple of dusty excursions for the Canadian, and you can see it in his lap time there on lap 25. Just over 10 minutes remaining here at Laguna Seca, race number 2 of the GTE Championship. Looking a lot more tidy there, as Nodovan tries to regain some of that lap 25 lost time. Sometimes you have to slow down a little bit to go faster, and he's had a much cleaner lap and is pulling it back in. You can see it's the 22 this time for No Seams and a 21.6 for Nodovan. So the table's turned. He's regained that track position. And if he can rinse and repeat on that, he'll be right on the bumper in a couple of laps. 9 minutes left here at Laguna Seca. That weird camera angle, I'm just watching the scoring tower. It looks like Evil Hines is off the track. We have lost Evil Hines on circuit. We'll see if we can get an update there. And I believe it is a retirement. The timing screen hasn't updated, but you can see the gap is larger than still in 421, and it is going up by a second every second, so that tells me that Evil Hines has retired from this race in the Ford GT. He had an off early, had to make a pit stop for damage, and I believe as the screen has updated now, is still in 421, crosses the line. And we are down to 6 cars now with 8 minutes to go here. So a rough day for the German, who had a great race number 1, finishing 2nd at Laguna Seca, but not as good a finish here today, as Nodovan continues to put the pressure on here, trying to get close enough to take a run at No Seams, who has led this entire race since turn number 1. As we look back in the pack. This is X-Will Mr. X being chased by his brother Slim Reaper 911. And it's still a bit of a gap. That's still in 421 here. So we get a quick field rundown, but back up front to where the battle is. A little bit off track, but he's getting close. Into lap number 30, and we have just over 5 minutes remaining here. This is as close as not has been. Got another 3/10 the last time around. And you can honestly say this is the first time all race he's actually got a shot at taking a run at him. Little bit of a wiggle there, and it did cost him. If he was as close as he was coming up the hill here, we know how good he is under braking, but that little wiggle is going to have to wait for another lap. He gets a bit back. We know he's good under brakes coming onto the last corner. Maybe that'll position him for a shot down into turn number 1. Does get it back, but a good exit by No Seams into the 31st circuit. Definitely not close enough for a dive there. You can see a nice wide angle, beautiful apex speed there. If you can just keep it tidy. This is the section where No Seams has had a little bit of an advantage. Much better through there this lap. And now up the hill. Again, No Seams pulls out a bit of a gap through that last left-hand kink. And that's where he needs to, because that really nullifies the braking advantage that Nottaman has. That wasn't very tidy as well. And they continue to oscillate back and forth. That gap between about 0.9 and 0.6. So we're 42.5 minutes in, so I believe probably 2 laps to go here. Slim Reaper 911 just going out of camera there. He is the next car to go a lap down. Again, a little wiggle from the Canadian as he's... You have to push, but you have to keep it under control. He's right on the limit. No Seams seems to have the high ground right now. He's fast where he needs to be, and he's got it covered off where Not has a little advantage. Very deep under brakes. As close as he's ever been coming out of the top of the corkscrew. No Seems very good in the kinks here. Can he keep it through there? Nodovan is very close. We've seen the wider line by Nodovan into turn 1, but again, a great exit onto the main straight by No Seems gives him a bit of a gap. As we go into what should be the last lap here, both cars wiggle through turns 1 and 2. Off the circuit goes No Seems. Nodovan takes the lead on lap 33. And White again trying to chase. After running second all day, he finally puts some pressure on the leader. Slim gets out of the way and allows him through. It's a big gap now, though. As coming around, we're just watching the clock. We've just crossed over the 45-minute mark. Nodovan will win in race number 2 at Laguna Seca. As we get a replay just wide on the dirt, we've seen it all day, and the Canadian goes through on the right. Logan Shawn, 17, will come home in 3rd place after an eventful day in the Ferrari. Will Mr. X will hold off teammate and finish 4th. Slim Reaper, 911, 5th. Still in 421, 6th, and Evil Heinz 12, DNFs in 7th place. Your winner here at Laguna is Nodovan. So here's a look at the points after 2 races of the GTE Championship. Nodovan with a commanding lead at 50 points. With back-to-back wins, No Seems and Logan Shawn 17 tied for 2nd at 30. Despite a bad day today, Evil Heinz 12 is 4th with 24, at 4 points ahead of the BMWs, both with 20 points, Will Mr. X and Slim Reaper 911. Still in 421 with 14, ahead of Jet Run 76, who missed today's race. Join us for race number 3 as the GTEs head south of the equator for a 1-hour challenge at Bathurst.